guys, welcome to today's Captain's Blog. It is Wednesday, 9/19 at 12 hours, and we got viewer mail here. Amazon stuff. Oh god, yes. Memory cards for video production. And another hard drive.
And the FedEx guy.
And the FedEx guy. What do you got?
I have no idea. A box full of goodies, I hope.
Cool. Boden.
Thanks. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you, sir. Alright, we got a box for FedEx. Ooh, this is not viewer mail. This is something I ordered for a project, so you don't want to see that. Now, this is from, the last one I got word was from a really cool guy, regular viewer, anonymous donation. He wanted to keep it anonymous, and we respect that. It's not uncommon that we get donations from people who wish to remain anonymous. This one just doesn't have a note with it, so I don't know who sent it. Thank you. If you want to be known before God and country, let us know. And I am happy to thank you on the air and all that, or at least send me a note in YouTube, and I'll send you a thank you, because we do appreciate it. You guys, this whole company runs on your help. That's what makes it work. That's not for you. This, however, is for you, for the video team. Another hard drive. And memory cards.
Thank you.
This is not for video. This is for Project America. And this is a thing that the Crazy Dutchman is doing. It involves panoramic images of the entire lab, and that's honestly everything I know about it, but we'll cover this at some point today. I know blogs have been sketchy past couple days. You'll see why. We've been thrashing ass on the basement. We're trying to get painting done. We're like this close to being done painting the basement, and I'm really excited about this. So, alright, you guys have fun. A little more as that happens today on the Captain's Blog. Alright guys, time is 13:21 hours, and our paint sprayer, which is a fabulous Graco XR7 paint sprayer, we've put well over 1,000 gallons of paint through this thing on the building here. And this little part died. Now this is the pressure regulator here. And the way it works is that this plugs in up here, and as pressure builds up, it pushes against this metal rod here, which goes through a packing gland, and then another packing gland in its bearing sleeve. And then there's a little spring and dashpot arrangement on this side, and I'll show you guys that. But you adjust the valve, and when it pushes back with enough force, it releases a metal plate around here that is pushing against that little micro switch. Okay, and you can see that down in there. That's the micro switch. Well, the problem is, and given by the number of places you can buy replacement ones of this pressure regulator, I'm guessing this is a pretty common problem. There's like 3,000 psi of pressure on here. And the only thing keeping the paint out of here is a little bit of some kind of sealant they put in here, which is probably like a silicone type caulk or something. And it eventually wore through and leaked, and we had paint pouring out, and it was obviously bad. Well, this part is 80 bucks to get a new one, and well, we're poor. So what I've done, with significant help from Batman found that this was a problem and found out why and all that. So what I did is, the first time we tried this, we filled this with like a tub and tile sealant. It wasn't the right type of caulk, but we just caulked in here, and it worked great for 10 minutes, totally fixed the problem, and then it blew through. So now I'm upping it a bit, and now I'm going beyond what the original design had. This rod that goes through here, that goes through the two packing glands, just floats in a brass sleeve. I have filled that interstitial space with Gunk brand plumber silicone grease. This is up there with WD-40 and duct tape, okay? You should have this. If it leaks, and it shouldn't, try this. Works great on a lot of things, especially plastic and packing of gland type things. So now I'm going to fill this space up on top with caulk. Is the caulk coming?
It's a small hole.
It's a small hole? There it is. Okay. That's okay. I'm filling a very small space, so. Now, I like DAP brand clear caulk very much, specifically because it's clear caulk. You can see it's labeled clear. But when it first comes out, it's white. And that's really good because then you know that the caulk is or is not cured. And given that this is such a tiny little bit of caulk, it should cure pretty fast. And I'm rather excited about that. So we've got that in there, and that is totally full. And I made sure that my rod here is completely depressed, so when we assemble it, it's actually going to push out a little bit, and that's totally full. So that's the absolute maximum volume of space that'll be filled by stuff. And when we do the outer assembly, I'm actually going to do that in the machine. Now, I'm going to, because we are having so many problems with leaks in it, I'm going to pack this space here before I begin assembling the rest of it at all with more grease, more silicone grease. Now this stuff isn't like caulk. This stuff maintains the consistency of, well, peanut butter or Vaseline. It stays goopy, which is a good thing. So I'm just going to put a big dollop of this in here and be careful not to hit the shaft, because if I push on that shaft, it'll come right out and I'll displace all my caulk, and then I'd have to redo my caulk. But I'm going to put a big gob of this in here because it won't hurt anything in here. It's because it's just silicone. It's a complete electrical insulator. But what it will do is make it a lot harder for water and or paint, we test with water, to work their way in. So I'm just going to pack this space in here with just a big gob of it down in the bottom, because my highest priority, like this we can fix, that's easy, but to replace that micro switch would be particularly difficult, and I want to keep that happy. And it will live immersed in silicone for years and years and be totally cool with it. But if you soak it in water, it's going to oxidize pretty fast, and we don't want that. Okay, Batman, at this point,
We're sitting and watching caulk dry.
we're going to sit and watch caulk dry, and when this turns clear, it's done. Alright, so I'm sitting here and I'm editing this episode. The episode that you're actually watching, I'm editing it right now. In fact, here you can see here's a part you haven't seen yet. Okay, this is
Mark,
fog machine bit.
time is 18:56.
Okay, and this is the first episode where we're actually putting in the new promo, the Not Safe for Work version of the Small Change Big Difference program. And I wanted to talk about the promo because I'm sure there's a lot of people that won't really get this. Those who know Jabroni, and it's actually really sad that you guys don't get to know him as well as we do here at the lab, because he's in the videos a lot, he's on the blog a lot, but he's different when you see him on camera. Jabroni in real life is, it's not unlike working with Mr. Rogers. He's a very, very quiet, very introverted, very mellow guy. He lives in his own little world of animation, and as a rule, seldom comes out of the editing area. I mean, that's his space, and he could sit at his computer all day long animating and doing video work, and it's amazingly time-consuming stuff. It really is. And that's just his thing, and he's very quiet, he's very reserved, he's just cool like that. He's the kind of guy that wouldn't say shit if he was up to his nose in it. And the story behind the promo is, I kept on him, I'm like, I want a rage version, and that's why we have the running joke with Jabroni Rage when he's doing demolition and that, because what you don't see under the mask is he actually has a smile from ear to ear. He's having a blast. There is no rage. Jabroni is one of the most genuinely sweetest, kindest people you will ever meet. He's really awesome. And I kept pushing him. I'm like, I want a punchier version. I want rage. Arr. So he did this voice recording because the animation's all based off a voiceover, and it starts with the voice acting. So Jabroni made a vocal booth, got everything set up, and just went nuts. He wrote the script. He did everything himself. That's all entirely his work, which is an impressive feat. That's a lot of work. And he did this whole thing, and he sent me, and it was sent to me as a joke. He sent me this thing, and it was full of swearing, and it was, because his thought was, it'll never fly. There's no way in hell Chris would ever approve of this. And I couldn't. For the main channel, I couldn't because of the language. And I personally don't mind. Nobody here who's heard it had a problem with it because it's funny as hell. And I'm sorry, but people swear. It's the 21st century. You might want to accept this fact by now. But still, because we have a lot of tight-ass people in the world, we could never air that on the main channel because we're family-friendly on the main channel. The Captain's blog, well, fuck that noise. And because the Captain's blog is real, it's not censored down, it's not edited to that extent. I mean, I cut off the heads and tails of videos so that you don't see me doing, like the, all right, how's my shot, and all that jazz. But it's, but he made me this voiceover, and I loved it. I laughed like hell because it's so out of character. I mean, imagine hearing Mr. Rogers do that voiceover. That's the effect. And I said, do it, roll with it. Well, and he was like, we can never air this. This is unacceptable. Like, my parents watch this channel. And they were like, screw it, we'll put it on a Captain's blog, and it'll go from there. And I released it standalone on a Captain's blog, and I'm going to release all the other promos standalone on a Captain's blog or on the AV blog, which would probably be a really good idea. But I want people to know, and we're making an edited version of the exact same Rage promo without the swearing in it. Like, we're going to censor it out, which really sucks because it takes all the fun out of it. I don't know, it's like getting a new Dr. Dre album with all the swearing taken out of it. It's just dumb and it's stupid. But we'll do it. But I just wanted to put it here, and I'm going to continue running them in the full version in the Captain's blog just because we can, because it's awesome, because it's an amazing promo, and it gets people's attention. And the big thing is, this is our second swing at the quarters. We did it the first time, and ThinkGeek fucked us so bad. I was really pissed about it, but you do not get on the internet and rage at about how bad ThinkGeek sucks if you're a geek organization, because they're bigger than we are, and I'm not going to pick that fight. But what happened was, we agreed on a price with ThinkGeek, and it was fair to us, and it was fair to them, and it was fair to the people. And the guy that we worked with at ThinkGeek handed it off to another guy who was probably higher up the food chain than he was, and was a lot more marketing and a lot less geek. And the price, I think their first price was like $35 a piece. It was just stupid high. And then they came down to $25, which was still crazy high. And we wanted to sell them at $15 a piece. That was the original plan, was $15 a piece to market, cool, and it was good, and it was fair, and it was all right. And they screwed us, and they pissed a lot of people off, and we ended up with a really big pile of quarters. We made, I think, 1,000 in the first production run. We made 1,000 quarters, and I paid for all of that out of my personal pocket. Because I'm like, okay, I'm going to make this huge investment because it's going to pay off. The quarters will be huge. People are going to love them. It'll be this great thing. And it's like the Geek Group's version of the Pet Rock. It's something that everybody knows. It's a stupid little thing, but it's really cool. And with the quarters, it's really inspiring. And it's something that I carry one in my pocket. I carry the first one that we ever made. Well, the second one. The first one we ever made, we gave it to the kid. But I carry the first production quarter. And I show it to people every day, and people freak out about it, and they're like, oh my god, these are so cool, where can we get these? And we're like, oh, you go down to Geek Group, and it's gotten a ton of people in our doors. It's introduced the Geek Group and the concept of hacker spaces and maker spaces to hundreds of people. And it's really cool. It's this little, it's the science minstrel thing, It's like, check this out, this is neat. And everybody gets that moment of, oh wow. And we didn't want to sell them at $25 a piece. We wanted to sell them at $10 a piece. That's what we were making off ThinkGeek. So figure at $10 a piece, okay, they cost us a few bucks to make. They take 10 minutes to make each one. It's time consuming. It's a really tedious process. But we want to get these out there. The primary goal is inspiration. The secondary goal is fundraising, because this is our opportunity to build our nut, okay, our base funding, our endowment, and this is what makes it work. This is how we pay the light bill and the heat and all that stuff. It's all the bullshit bills that we hate dealing with every month. We can do that off quarters. If we sell enough quarters and put the money in the bank, and it draws a set amount of interest, and that goes into base operating revenue, and it's a whole thing with debits and credits and bullshit that nobody cares about. It's fucking accounting. But it helps a lot, and at $10 a piece, everybody can get one. Okay, that's a trip to Taco Bell, man. It's $10, and it makes it accessible, and that's the thing. Making science and technology accessible to anyone with a sincere and passionate desire to learn. It's why we do this, and the quarters fit that. So we've got this awesome promotion. We've got this really cool promo. Let's put it out there. Let's share it with the world, and let's put it in the captain's blogs. So that's the thing. Now buy a quarter, damn it. Let's build this place. Let's get open to the public. All right, I got to go back to editing this because you guys want to watch this commercial because it is that awesome. Okay, so here you go. Here's the new quarter promo. And thank you to the great and powerful Stephen Bellatini.
Why do we build awesome? It's not because we like showing off, though we do, and it's not because when science says, here's how the world works, we answer, great, now watch us bend it to our fucking will, though we definitely do that. No, we build awesome because we want to share the exhilaration we feel when we prove nature wrong, when we make something that shouldn't happen, or that can't happen, or that can happen but not whenever we please, happen, goddammit. We want to spread the ability to take what the world gives you and turn it into something unexpected. We want to get people who would ordinarily be just bored or disinterested in math, science, and engineering to feel that spark, and we'll use irresponsibly loud noises and automaton-made handcrafts and musical fire and death rays and tiny stars and giant Newton's cradles and lightning machines and motherfucking robots to do it, because we can. You might not have the resources we do, but you can still get the people in your life excited about science. You want a tangible, recognizable, and it's worth mentioning easy to transport example of how humans can dictate the way our world works? Done. Solved. Shrunken coins. For instance, we take a US quarter dollar, coil copper wire around it, load it into our high-energy physics laboratory's impulse generator, and for just an instant, dump frankly insane current through that coil, producing such powerful magnetic fields that the quarter compresses in on itself to the size of a dime, yet retains all of its surface features. And it comes in an educational packet explaining the science behind it. Not that you'll need that, since you'll want to carry that thunderbolt in your pocket. Available at thegeekgroup.org, now for only $10.
Time is 1856 hours. We got this big, giant F-100 fog machine thing, but it didn't come with a tank. I gotta find a tank, and the handle's broken. And I've had it sitting here for like 15 minutes, in theory, warming up, but I don't get a green light over here. I got no run. Timer function works. Everything goes like it should, but no run. So I don't know if I'm missing something, or if there's a fuse in here that isn't happy, or what the hell. This little thing was totally screwed. The little motor was just gummed up, but I massaged it by smacking it repeatedly with a screwdriver, and now it makes fog. This is an old American DJ shadow unit. We've got this thing, which is brand new. Lights up. It's not lit up right now, but this will come on and off. It's heating. It's doing everything like it's supposed to, except actually making fog, which is infuriating as hell. So that one, I don't know, but it's brand new. I took it right out of the box. I don't know where it came from or anything. I think it came in on a donation somewhere. So we'll see. And then this one, which we've had forever. This one, the American DJ, we've had forever. This thing leaks right out the bottom. Big puddle of shit, and Batman grabbed me a funnel and I was able to capture most of it. But this is probably autopsy fodder, so there really isn't much to them inside. Here's how a fog machine works inside. Here's your temperature sensor, okay, right there. And these go to your heating coil. You don't want to touch it because this is actually electrically live at the moment. But that's your heating coil. Big thermal block here, which is very little more than a pipe with an orifice. There's your input pipe, which goes down here to a little tiny pump to a reservoir. So you suck fluid out through the pipe, through here, into the orifice, it heats it up, and it's basically a really serious e-cig. In fact, if you put e-juice into this, it would vape. And you could have a whole room rocking out on, you know, your favorite obsidian vapor flavors. There's a little timer control on them usually. So like this one won't let me go anymore. But yeah, that's fog machine. You may get to see inside this one before too long if I can't get the damn thing to work. I think this one came from Carnegie. I think. Not 100% sure, but it looks like the kind of thing Doug would send us. Have to check. I wish I'd get the damn thing to work, because I got a feeling if I get this thing to work, it's a freaking beast. Serious. Well, it's a performance fog generator. So, all right, you guys have fun. We'll be back.
I learned how to run a machine shop.
Set up an enterprise level server.
Program 9-foot robots.
Make lightning!
Edit video.
I'm building a radio station.
Light bulb terrarium.
A high-performance electric car.
I'm a CNC geek.
Computer geek!
Robot geek.
Physics geek!
AV geek.
I'm a radio geek.
Craft geek.
Car buff.
No matter what kind of geek you are, we've got a place for you here at the Geek Group. Come join us. We build awesome.